Well, happy holidays, everyone. Greg Dixon here, your story whisperer. Today, I'm going to talk about simple photo presentations to refresh family memories. Leading into the family gatherings, I suggested that you might want to capture photos and video and some of your family stories. Well, you still can with some urgency that next year your family members may not all be with you. So, what I wanted to discuss today is something actually that you can do with those photos and images that you might have captured or you still can, and and to create a presentation that can help out your senior family members and loved ones who maybe have are losing their memory and having trouble remembering things, and maybe maybe it's not just the seniors. Some of us could all use a refresher for families. So I created a blog post here at sharedvisions.com/memory refresher, and what I'm going to talk about is all listed there with some resources that you can link to. I'm just going to put this in the comments right now, and if you're watching this live, why don't you just put in the comments here where you're tuning in from, and let me know if you're visiting with your families, if you traveled for the holidays to visit with families, or maybe you've returned from visiting. Anyway, just so the thing here is, over the years, I have created dozens and dozens of basically photo slideshows or simple presentations. They've been from a lot of memorials, like people have passed away, and I've been asked to put together a selection of photos to represent the person's life. Um, Also, sometimes a birthday party or a wedding presentation, and one of the fun ones I did was for my own son and his wedding. He grew up in North Vancouver, and he met his fiance at Waterloo in Ontario, and she is from the Maritimes. And the wedding was in a little town called Manitou in Nova Scotia, Cape Breton, and the uh, reception was in Sydney at a hall. So uh, I don't even know where the idea came up with. The idea was that I would put together a presentation of photos of Andrea and Kale as they were growing up, and also all family members. And they also thought this was a good way to introduce family members to the other family members. So the presentation I created started with photos from when they were just babies, and then through different times through their life, elementary school through high school, college. If they were involved with sports, and the sports photos both happen to be involved with music, so music photos. And so it kind of created a parallel between of their lives growing up, which was really quite interesting. And I put some music in the background. I also included family members with captions and titles, and so that included grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins and where they lived, and put this thing together. And I don't remember how long it was, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, but we played it in between the wedding, that which was in a little town called Manitou, and the reception in Sydney. Uh, Everybody hung out at an aunt's place for a couple of hours, and I had this presentation that I put on a USB drive, and it ran on a large television, just looped over and over and over again. And as people were drinking their their wine or pop or whatever it was and having snacks, people were just watch this, and some people thought they went through it and watched it through quite a few cycles, and then and people were saying, oh, there's cousin Bob, and there's Martha, and and it was a good opportunity for everyone to learn something about their own family sometimes, and then about the other family. So that was really quite rewarding thing to do. And that was just something plugged into had a video that we plugged into the television there, and we also broadcast it during the reception too. That was shown probably just once. It wasn't something that just ran all the time, but it could have been, I suppose. Um, the other the other thing that prompted me to do this broadcast is we were talking with Jerry Smith, is a collaborator that Bonnie and I've worked with for story productions. We also did video interviews with sort of the founders of the natural health industry, sort of some of the people who made it all happen. And Jerry's thing is biography, and he also worked in the natural health business and created a thing called these little video players that were designed to go in stores. And when people walk by, it would play a product video. Anyway, we got quite a few of these things left over, and he said they would be good for putting family stories on. And anyway, that triggered a discussion that some kind of video and photo player would be really good for people to remember their families. For example, we have you probably do too. You probably have family members who are in some sort of care facility. They've got a small room, maybe a little bit of room to put some photos on the wall. But there's now there are photo frames, digital photo frames available that are that are quite easy. Now some have apps you can upload videos and photos to these things, and they can be just there and either playing constantly or people can thumb through them. And all these things could be, these photos that I've been describing here can go onto these players, and it could be really quite good. And so why the title of this thing is to refresh family memories is that the person could go through whenever they want to just go flip through their family, which it could be their life, you know, their own life from when they were young, remember events in their lives, and then also, you know, their children and grandchildren, cousins, parents, all that kind of thing. And these are not that hard to do. Excuse me. It's something you could do yourself. Um, Collect photos. It's easy enough to collect photos with phones these days, and there are various editors. I use Photoshop to edit. Like if I'm doing this for somebody, I'll spend quite a bit of time correcting the photos, cropping the photos, maybe getting rid of some flaws like scrapes and things, and then I'll put them together. And I'll use today I would use Adobe Final Cut Pro video editor and add transitions and maybe some effects, Ken Burns effect or something like that to the photos, and some music, and they possibly could have a narration. Um, but most of the ones I've done have been music. Well, that's important to the person or the family, and these things are something you could do on your own, or you could have me help with it. I'm I'm working on a book and also a workshop series where I go through how to do these things. I've done tons and tons of broadcasts like these and done demonstrations of various things like how to upload into Google Drive to organize photos, all that kind of thing, how to use a smartphone to capture photos and video, you know, how to organize them, all those kinds of things. So I'm going to do a book and workshop series on that, but I'm available right now to help with us if you want to assemble them. And these little presentations are a good place to start. They may evolve into a tabletop book or something like that, which I can help you with as well. But it's just the places. This is something fairly simple that you can do on your own, or you can do with my help, and just help keep those family memories fresh, and enjoyment. It's a good thing. You're going over to visit, go over to visit your family member, and others are there, and it's a good way of flipping through, and maybe it's good for where they're staying too, because often people in the facility don't really know that person very well, and this is a way to get them to learn and understand about the people living in their facility. And yeah, so anyway, I just suggest that it's really important to capture and share these photos and these short photo presentations. Some people might call them a slideshow or a montage, but it's a way of just presenting family stories and family history in a way that's pretty convenient. And again, the things I've done is either can be on a web page or it can be on uh, for the wedding situation. I put it on a USB drive, plugged it into most modern televisions. If you put a USB drive on there with the video, you can loop through and play the video. And then also these new digital photo frames. I put it in the article. I put in a link to Amazon to one of these. There are tons. They're available at Walmart. Available many high end pharmacies that sell a bunch of other stuff. Any place like that. So anyway, I hope you have fun with this. It can be really fun. Could be a nice project to do with your siblings. Assemble some photos, put them together, and then share it. So anyway, happy holidays, everyone, and take care. Talk to you soon.